every stage of the exploration program. And we also suggest the exiting point, each one with a gain, because information is very valuable, and we can suggest exiting the project at after completing every stage with a financial gain, selling this information to the interested parties. So this is the result of one of the results of the field soil gas detection campaigns. So this is me making the hole here in Western Australia at one of the very prospective areas. And once again, the reading exceeds 2000 ppm. So we use several models of gas detectors. This is conventional electrochemical, the industrial grade, which could be easily found on the market. This is quite unique. We import them from Russia, which is not easy these days. And it has a range between 1 ppm and 1%. So it works with hydrogen exclusively. No other gases could be detected. But the beauty is that the sensor is very durable. It works for years and years and years, while electrochemical sensors need to be changed probably around once a year, because when exposed to hydrogen too often, they get ruined by hydrogen and their accuracy starts deteriorating. So this is the result of the soil gas campaign performed by Nikolai in Russia, very recent one. So the samples from 2 meters, less than 2 meters, demonstrate the concentrations of hydrogen between 30 and 40%. Once again, this is not the soil gas detection. These results came from the soil samples for gas chromatography. So they were able to identify several quite promising anomalies, as you may see from this map, on a small, rather compact areas of land. So they will proceed with geophysics and hopefully, fingers crossed, with drilling a well. So this is our result. This is my son, Lad, making a hole here in Western Australia. This is the soil headspace sample, soil gas headspace sample, which we inject into the gas chromatograph. So this is the result exceeding 58%, the national record I told you about. Hydrogen produces a huge spike on the chromatogram. And once again, we published the paper this year briefly describing these results. So this is the next stage, geophysics. Like I said, we combine several methods, time proven. So this method, for example, allows us to see, to model natural hydrogen conduits quite close to the surface. You see the meters scale here on the left. And when we correlate this picture, geophysical picture, the geophysical model, with the soil gas detection results, we see that these two do not really correlate directly. So the area is the same. So this is the north to south transect across the structure, but soil gas detection method gives us the peak above the subsurface, very subsurface anomalies, while the conduits are slightly shifted, well, in this case, to the south. So if we go after the result, if we don't do anything else but proceed with drilling based on the soil gas detection only, we're most likely drill a dry borehole. So it will be a disaster. from the financial viewpoint. So this is why we really need to go ahead and proceed with geophysics afterwards. This is a different method. The images are quite old, so this method has been developed to much better better levels since then. But even with this method, we were able, back then, 15 years ago, we were able to identify a couple of potential hydrogen-bearing structures. And we, unfortunately, we didn't proceed with the project because the investor, as it happens quite often, the investor lost their interest and stopped financing the project. This is the seismic interpretation. So we use a specialty proprietary algorithm, third-party developed algorithm to which allows us to model and to see the vertical, subvertical structures with much more clarity than it could be done with conventional seismic. So in a 2.5D, almost 3D, we are capable of ranking the structures, the promising structures, and prioritize those which look more promising, more prospective from natural hydrogen degassing emitting viewpoint. So this structure is probably the best out of all three, which is not obvious from the surface, but we can see it in depth, and it seems to be extremely promising, more promising with depth. So basically, it resembles what we've pictured here. So there is a vertical or subvertical fluid flow structure, chimney, which becomes more promising, more prospective with them. So if we and it just requires the depth scale on this slide, on this image here, in order to proceed with drilling. So there is no depth scale here. So this is these are the geophysical tools, geophysical methods which we employ in order to obtain a digital model, 3D model, in order to proceed with drilling for natural hydrogen. So this is the first well in Nebraska, Nikolai Larin, depicted here, named here on the mud log sheet, log sheet. And this is the result, the section of the well, which we thoroughly analyzed. It is just one of the sections. So this is the mud logging section, and which title is here on the left-hand side. So while drilling through the sedimentary sequences, sedimentary cover, the operator didn't see much of hydrogen, so nothing really exciting. Several dozen ppm, of hydrogen. But once they penetrated through the top of crystalline basement, which is formed by granites and granite gneisses, they started really seeing really wonderful things. So the hydrogen started. So this black line here, this boundary is 1,000 ppm. So on the mud logging chart, we see it making a second loop. But we have to understand that mud logging chart provides the signal. It's not the real concentration. It's just the signal, which is interpreted from the drilling fluid parameters. So on the neutron density log, neutron porosity log, these spikes make several loopholes. So, which means that the concentration of hydrogen atoms and ions were extremely high, right below the top of the crystalline basement, where it apparently accumulated and where it was detected by the borehole well geophysics, oil field well geophysics. So we are very confident that we did the right thing. If we drilled it today, based on what we know today, 5 years later, we would position it slightly different. So the structure is good, but the first exploration well almost never is ideal. So to make it ideal, make it a better performer, we would just slightly shifted to the slightly different coordinates. But overall, we are absolutely happy with the result. The recent results from the independent lab demonstrated extremely high concentrations of hydrogen and helium. So we have a double bounty on this well. Helium is another story. So once again, from our model, helium is not the relative. It's not supposed to be detected, always be detected with natural together with natural hydrogen. They are detected together quite often, but not always. And helium could be, so we believe that hydrogen is produced by the Earth core, very deep-seated hydrogen, while helium could be could flow from the core. We call it primordial helium or helium-3. But more often than not, we see crustal helium, which is formed in the process, as a result of nuclear decay processes, sequences. And it accumulates in the core, in the traps, either with hydrocarbons or with other gases like argon, nitrogen, CO, radon, and so forth. So it could be accompanied by other gases. It's very light. The atom is the smallest in the universe. So hydrogen is the second smallest, and helium escapes those traps, those reservoirs very easily. So that's why helium is never found in substantial concentrations. So helium starts being commercial from 0.5%, half percent concentrations, depending on the circumstances. So this is the final slide, and this couple of supplementary slides just listing the published papers, patents, manuscripts by Dr. Larin. It didn't fit on one page, sorry. Nikolai and my humble self. The past one was published jointly with my PhD supervisor, Nikolai, and the customer representatives, including my son. So this is all I had to show you. So this is hopefully makes sense. And you can use the recording later in your discussions, and yes, in order to get back to it and analyze it, of course. So yeah, we don't mind it. It's perfectly open to the public. So I'm prepared to answer your questions, and we can discuss how we can work together.
Yes, it's really amazing. You know, in here our team very excited when I showed them your website and your interview last time. Yeah. So in our team, Mr. Ngim here and our colleagues they're working on oil and gas mainly. Yeah, like PB gas, like Petro Vietnam, they have one unit of PB gas, very strong about gas supply and distributor in Vietnam, very strong. And our team here really believe that natural hydrogen will make sense because, yeah, like your first slide, you already point out, we can make the price less than $1. And for the green hydrogen, we believe it's still a dream. And okay, yeah, it's something against the normal way. So we really, okay, yeah. So we really expect collaboration with Vitaly and your organization. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So we can proceed with so we always start with NDA.
Yeah.
Non-disclosure agreement. So if you are willing to proceed further, you probably would prefer having the internal discussion first.
Yeah.
But I can I can email you the draft NDA that we have, a standard draft. You can amend it the way you wish. Put it through the screen to be scrutinized by your legal team, and come back with your comments. Then we develop the project plan. We have a draft. We call it a skeleton model, which is really a template technical economical feasibility model for which is to be customized to the particular project. For example, your project in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So since we have this exploration strategy, it makes the things really easy. So we simply attribute financial parameters to each of the steps, and as a result, we obtain the estimated cost of hydrogen production per kilo of hydrogen in dollars, in US dollars, in euros, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So we once again we can send you the basics, but before we proceed with it, we need to start thinking of the legal framework.
Right.
So by default, we have we call it a limited business partnership framework, which was developed by our lawyers here in Australia. Once again, it can be customized. We developed it specifically for international cooperation with arbitration in Stockholm and all that type of things. So it's rather basic. It suggests certain shares. So by default, we prefer splitting it 50-50. And for the cases when we deal with external investors, we assign a certain portion of these shares to the investor entity, indeed. And this allows us to proceed with this technical economical feasibility study and its outcomes. So this is how we propose to proceed with the next steps, with next milestones. So just let us know how this sounds for you, whether it's suitable. Yeah.
Thank you. So we will wait for your document by email. So based on that, we discuss internally, and we come back, and we can sign officially, and we can start the collaboration.
Okay. So in this limited business partnership, each party has their own role and obligations. So we perform the scientific, technological analysis and so forth. The other party, your party, hopefully, will be performing business development, financing, investment attraction, and other capabilities like that. So our company, Avalio, becomes the general contractor, technical general contractor for this joint enterprise from the very beginning. And of course, we're not saying that we will perform all the technical operations ourselves. We will be subcontracting and outsourcing a lot. But it is essential that Avalio remains in the governing position for the entire duration of this project.
Yeah.
Because if we start working as a general contractor, select the contractors, subcontractors, and they start working, and then our role, general contractor role, is seized, then the whole project will go nowhere. We have this experience in the past.
That's right.
When the first encouraging results prompt the other party to think that they can take it from there, and it never ended in any positive results. So
I agree.
unfortunately, yeah. So it's not just because we are greedy or we are control freaks. No,
we know the rule, and we work with Japanese for many years, say more than 28 years. So we keep the rule all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Japanese companies are extremely interested in hydrogen and in natural hydrogen.
Right.
And I can predict a huge interest from their side.
Sure.
They will I believe they will try to be on the project from day one, and will be learning from the project as much as they can. So that's my prediction.
Yes. So we wait for your email, and let's start the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me check if I have your email address from our exchange.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Let me see.
So I just text you my email address, taroman@gmail.com.
Okay. If you could send it over to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've sent it in as well. Yeah.
Okay. I will copy it and copy it into my Outlook straight away, not to lose it. Yeah. Okay. 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 Then, if you have any more questions, I'm prepared to answer them.
I think it's okay. Just allow us to use the record. We will edit and for official.
Absolutely.
Public.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
if
if you can share to us your presentation.
Okay, I will. Yep, I will email it to you in a PDF format, and I will email you the NDA and the draft limited business partnership agreement, so you could start looking at the documents straight away and discuss it with your peers. All right.
Thank you, and we look forward to meeting you in person. Either
Thank you very much.
In Perth or in Ho Chi Minh City.
Likewise.
Trust me, when you come to
you
Vietnam, you will like Vietnam, because Vietnam we have many good friends.
Nikolai traveled to Vietnam a couple of times for surfing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. He's been in Vietnam on a couple of occasions. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you much for connecting. Thanks a lot. And talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Mr. Vitaly.